When I was just a little boy, I asked my father, what could I be? That theme song go hard. I don't care what nobody say. What's going on, y'all? Let's get into this review of From Season 3, Episode 2. So in the first opening scene, y'all, we got Victor and the drunk man sitting in the bar. At least I think that's the bar. Just looking like they are traumatized, okay? And then the drunk man gets up to go to the barn to check on Boyd and the Chinese lady. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm bad with names. And Boyd is speaking some type of language. I'm not sure what he's repeating. But I'm like, is Boyd possessed? Because he was speaking some type of language. And I don't even know really what he was saying. But so then the drunk man goes over and releases Boyd from the shackles that he was on. And he runs over to the Chinese lady and just bawl his eyes out. He's saying he's sorry. This was like a really sad scene. Like, oh my gosh. It kind of really gave me chills. And he was just crying and oh my gosh. I feel so bad for Boyd. I mean, because I could just imagine what's going through his head, right? Or what's already going through his head. And seeing something in your face like that is just already traumatized. And then the fact that how they just tortured her, and I can only imagine he's thinking about he gotta tell this or her son gonna have to find out. It's just like bad. So then y'all, we get Jim and the Chinese lady's son. We have them, in their little cot to where they were sleeping at from the last episode. And Jim is yelling out at the boy and was like, hey, we got some food. And, they find this, a bunch of food or whatever around the lake. And I think it's like some cabbage or something, which kind of reminds me of the whole rotting food situation, right? Like, so when before Boyd smashed the little music singing box that was going to release the other three out of the trance that they were in, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, the lady that was trying to get him to not, his wife that was trying to get him to not break that box, she was basically saying that if you break the box, everybody's going to die. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe the food is rotting because he broke the box and now they're making all the food rot in the town. Then, y'all, we get to the next scene and then we got the mama and Victor daddy sitting there in the living room. The mama was asleep and, eventually she wakes up and then she's like trying to explain to Victor's daddy that, hey, this is what happened. Me and my family were on a road trip. We ended up in this town and then we were stuck. And Victor dad is like, he ain't having it. He ain't believing none of the BS. That, I think her name is Tabitha. Is it Tabitha? Either way, he ain't believing none of the BS that he ain't believing none of the BS that the mama is trying to tell him. So then, he's like, okay, well, I already called the police 20 minutes ago. Let's just sit here and wait. Since you don't want to be honest and tell me where you got the box from. Because that was his whole thing. Like, how did you get my son box? He left here years ago. And now I see you popping up my door with the box that my son left here with. I'll be honest with you. I'll be the same way Victor daddy feeling right now. Like, what are you doing with my son's lunchbox, ma'am? My kids and wife disappeared years ago and you show up at my doorstep with my son's lunchbox? Yeah, I can see why he feel the way he feels. So then we get Christy and the crazy girl that tried to kill everybody last season come through to the hospital or whatever. And she is like, hey, you can't come up in here. You're not welcome here. I don't care what Boyd said. I don't care if Boyd forgave you, but I don't, and you can't come up in here. So she was like, listen, I just was coming here to tell you that the Chinese lady died and, I just wanted you to know. So that's all I wanted to say, and I'm gonna head back out. So then, y'all, we get Boyd and the drunk man walking the Chinese lady through the town while everybody is watching. And I just feel so bad for boy. I can, he starts reminiscing about that night and what happened. And it's just, originally from the last episode, from the first episode, we didn't see what was going on. All we could hear was her screaming. All we could hear was Tai Chan screaming. And it's like, oh my gosh, we actually got to see the visuals of how it happened. And while he walking through the town, we get my girl, that's my favorite, who is my favorite character on this show, by the way. So then we get the second in command, screaming boy name, asking him, is it true? And both of them go into the sheriff's office. And then we get Victor, Ethan, and his sister. And, Ethan is like crying and having a hissy fit. Victor comes through the door slamming stuff around and grabbing his bags and saying he gotta go and just having a whole meltdown. And Ethan trying to take Tin Chin, her blanket, because he want to comfort her. And Victor is like, no, she's dead. We can't do nothing else about it. She's gone. We have to get out of here. So Victor goes off on Polar Ethan and he's just crying and just like, I just want to give her blanket. Victor like, fuck that blanket. Victor said, F that blanket. Then we get the mama and Victor daddy again. And she's still trying to, prove to him that she is not telling a story about what's going on here. And they on the computer. How old was that computer, by the way? Anyway, she on the computer showing him like articles of, them missing and trying to, find other people that were in the town with her and, get him look them up and tell them that they were missing. And again, Victor Dad like, I'm not having this. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. He went to the refrigerator to go get him a beer because Victor Dad like, listen, look, you stressing me out. Okay. She keeps talking and talking and talking. And then she gives him some type of information to where, she was seeing the little children and about the tower. And she had to save the children out of the tower. She felt like she, needed to really do that. And Victor Dad like, whoa. What did you say? And then we get the police knocking on the door. Let me in, Henry, we're here. And she's like, please don't tell him I'm here. I'm telling the truth, I promise. So then Henry, Victor Daddy, go to the door and like, I'm sorry, y'all. My bad. It was just, a misunderstanding. It was a dog. The neighbor dog was off the leash. I thought it was an intruder. The neighbor came and got the dog. Thank you for your service. And then he got the nerve to come back in the house and explain to her that the gun that he's been threatening her with and pointing at her face the whole entire time that she's been there, that he bought the gun 40 years ago and he's never used it, let alone loaded it and yada, yada, yada. And then go have the nerve to offer to fix her something to eat. And she over there smiling and shit. I'm like, girl, this man was sitting here threatening your life. I get it. But, I'm like, come on now. What bothered me about this whole situation between Victor Dad and Henry and the mama is that, first of all, if I think or have any type of inkling that you unalived or kidnapped my kids and wife or whatever, I'm not about to let you in my house, first of all. I'm not about to let you in here, okay? So that was just weird to me that he done let her went to sleep and everything on the couch and some more. And, I'm like, now, if you come to my door and you got my son's lunchbox and my son been missing forever, I'm not about to let you in my house, okay? The next thing that bothered me about this scene was, I said, that can't be Victor Daddy because he looks just about as old as Victor ass dude. So then we get Donna and Boyd in the sheriff's office having a whole argument about, how Boyd could have handled this situation differently. And, I feel sorry for Boyd. And Donna is my girl. I'm not trying to take sides or nothing like that. But I agree with Donna. Like, really? You could have really just not saved the animals just to spare the lives that we have here at risk. Like, Peter, don't come for me or anything, but which is more important, the lives of animals or the lives of peoples in this situation? Because if I was bored, I would have been like, F them cows and sheep and goats and whatever else they let out the barn. Because, boy, are you thinking these cows and goats and sheep and whatever else wasn't just let out for no reason? They didn't just get out because somebody left the damn door open. They out because ding, 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 somebody let them out. Who do you think let them out, Boyd? It's a trap, Boyd. I'm like, I need for us to put on our thinking caps, okay? And realize that this is a setup, a classic setup. You rushing and running to go and save these animals because y'all low on food supply, when you're putting everybody else's lives at risk. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we can get them cows, we can get them animals in the morning. Okay, we can get them animals when the light is back up, when the light is back on. But we're not gonna sit here and risk the people in our town lives because our food supply is out in the open. So sorry, Boyd, but I agree with Donna on this one. So now we got Fatima in the bathroom throwing her guts up again. And then we got Ellis knocking on the door trying to get in because he like, listen, you've been in here for hours. You need to let me in here so I can see what's going on. So then Fatima, she like looks in the mirror and, you know, feels something in her mouth. Why this lady got a tooth coming out? A whole back tooth coming out of her mouth. Just straight up, pulled it out. So now that got me thinking. Fatima been, or what is it, Fatima or Fatima? Either way, y'all know what I'm talking about. She been throwing her guts up since the first episode. This is the second episode. She throwing her guts up again. Because she ain't eating because they ain't got no food. She ain't drinking nothing. And now she got her teeth coming out of her mouth. I'm thinking like, do y'all think that she carrying one of day baby? I know it's a stretch and I don't know how that would have even happened, but I'm starting to think that is she carrying one of those, whatever those are. So then we get Fatima and Ellis. They go to the town hospital and Mallory is there. They're looking for Christy. Christy is not there. Mallory's like, hey, I'm here. And Ellis and Fatima are like, maybe we should come back because, you know, of Mallory's past drug use history that they know of from season 1. Well, from season 2. So then they go ahead and, you know, let Mallory take a look at Fatima because, you know, she really need to be seen. And the next thing we get Boyd and Christy, you know, and Christy is trying to have a come to Jesus moment with Boyd. And Boyd is like, listen, save the therapy talk. I don't want to hear it. And Chrissy is like, oh, well, I don't give a F if you don't want to hear it. I'm going to say it anyway. And she's basically trying to tell Boyd, hey, listen, you know, I know you don't want to hear it right now, but I just want to let you know you helped me when I was going through. I'm here to help you when you're going through. It's not your fault, even though some may beg to differ. And in the meantime, we get Kenny and the dad coming back from, you know, whatever they was at. You know, they're excited. They got some food for everybody. Kenny is about to find out that his mom has passed away. And then this scene was a little bit, you know, sad as well because Kenny is calling out to his mama in their language outside of the house, you know, wanting her to come outside or, you know, whatever. You can tell that he's still trying to kind of like process everything because I don't feel like it like, he know, but it ain't really hit him like that. So he walks off, storms off. He don't want nobody to touch him. He don't want nobody to talk to him. And he goes to the town's diner. And then, you know, he walks in and he sits at the bar. And then he's like, where is she? Chrissy, she ran after him and told him that his mom is at the church. And then he's just, you know, still like, I'm okay. And we looking like, no, you not okay. Your mom just passed. And then we get Kenny still sitting at the bar and he's reminiscing about when his dad passed and how that happened. And, you know, now his mom, He asked Christy to make her look like herself. Christy agrees. She's getting ready to go. You know, if you need me, let me know. Then all of a sudden, the radio starts playing. Celebrate good times, come on. This also brings up a question. Are the people clearly has to be listening to them, right? Because first of all, whatever the thing is said, okay, so I heard you say that this town can't break you, but we finna make you watch us torture Chin Chin, whatever her name is, Miss Chinese lady. We gonna see if this gonna break you, right? So now we get the scene at the bar, which I'm pretty sure this something happened like this on the last season as well, where the song is automatically playing Celebrate. Like, are these people taunting them? Because I mean, clearly, why would you play a song called Celebrate when you just heard this man say, you know, and when you just heard that he is sitting up here mourning his mother and father? I don't know, that's just something to think about. But I'm pretty certain that the people that come out at night are clearly listening to the people in the town. So Kenny just over there going ham on the radio, trying to turn it off because, you know, it's like, what? Celebrate? Why are you even playing anyway? And he finally throws something at the radio to make it stop and walks out of the diner. So then we get Julie having a whole temper tantrum with her dad because he went out and looked for the mom. And I'm like, you better than me, because didn't y'all all agree that why wouldn't you want him to go out and at least try and look for the mom? Ethan was about to go out there and look for his mama. So they, Miss Chinese lady had to go and find Ethan and let him and bring his little bitty ass back because, you know, like, why Ethan, like, why are you not out there looking for mom? So then that's when they agreed that the dad would go and look for the mom, him and Kenny. So I'm trying to figure out, why is Julie having a whole temper tantrum about the dad going out to look for her mother, for their mother and his wife, you know, and just because she had to sit there and watch Ethan for a little while. And I get it. I don't believe in children watching children, but like, girl, we're in a dire situation here. Do you want me to just forget that my wife is out there in the woods, wherever she could be, and at least not look for her body? Like, come on now, girl. Julie, girl, go sit down, girl. So then we get Victor, Daddy Henry, trying to make little light jokes with the mom after he done fixed us something to eat. Henry, boy gone. And after she finished eating, he takes her upstairs to show her the kid's room. And, you know, he basically tells her, like, you know, the police thought I did it. I knew I didn't do it. All of a sudden, you know, I told them to clean up their room before they watch TV or something along those lines. And I went to work and came back and they were gone. And then the mom was like, why are you showing me this? I feel like he's basically telling her, I feel like you got to be telling some type of truth, because how do you know about the children? How do you know about the tower? These are things that my wife was telling me before they disappeared. And then he takes her down to a basement. And then the next thing we get Fatima and Ellis going back to the house. Ellis has to go take care of something. Fatima's like, go ahead. I'm finna go on ahead in the house and lay down for a little minute. But before she can get in the door, she sees a couple of ladies on the side sorting out the rotten food. Y'all, tell me why, when the lady walked off, why Fatima started eating the rotten food? I'm telling y'all, it is something up with that baby. I don't know how, because I doubt if she ever had sex with one of them things. I highly doubt that. But it is something going on with that baby. And she was eating that rotten food down. She went and hid in the corner and started eating down like she hadn't ate in months. She wasn't even eating the regular food like that. So it's something up with that baby. So then we get Boyd walk into, I'm not sure what part of the town this is, but he walks into somewhere where Kenny is, and Kenny's putting some type of liquid substance in a bottle, in some bottles. I'm not sure what it is, because I mean, it could be gasoline, because he said he's going to, you know, Boyd like, okay, what you gonna do with that? And Kenny like, I'm finna go burn them motherfuckers up. And Boyd like, how you know this gonna work? And then Kenny like, we burnt the last one up. And then Boyd was like, but it was already dead. And then Kenny was like, I don't care. I'm going down to the tunnels and I'm gonna burn these motherfuckers up. And then Boy like, okay, let's do it then. So then y'all, they finna ride out or whatever. And then they get to the tunnels, and then Boy is explaining to Kenny like, you know, your mom wasn't alone. I actually was with her. They made me watch. And then that saying that he was chanting, that I was like, what? I was kind of confused about that earlier in the scene. I found out that he was actually repeating what Miss Chinese Lady was saying to him when she was, you know, getting unalived. So then Kenny explained to him that what she was saying was, take care of him. He will be alone now. And then they just have a whole breakdown, and Kenny is crying, and Boyd is, you know, hugging him and trying to console Kenny. And it's just like another sad scene. Like, oh, poor Kenny, poor Boyd. So then we get Christy and the drunk man getting Miss Chinese Lady ready for the funeral. And they did a really good job on her. They covered her legs up and put her on like a blue dress. And they did a really good job on her versus what she looked like before. I mean, I don't know how they did all that with the little resource that they got, but they did a good job nevertheless. Then Kenny and Boyd comes in, and, you know, Kenny has his moment with his mother. So then we get back to Victor, Daddy, Henry, and the mom, and he's taking her down into the basement and explaining to her, you know, after his 35th birthday, that this is when his wife started seeing the visions of the children with the town and the tower and all of that good jazz. And, you know, in that after she started seeing the visions, she would paint what she was seeing or getting in her head. And also explaining how the wife would tell him that there's a town that nobody knows how to get to, and once you're in it, and no one knows how to get out of it. I'm trying to, this is the part that's confusing to me, because if I'm not mistaken, from the first season with Victor explained that him, his mother, and his sister came to the town. So did the mama start seeing the visions or know about this town beforehand? And then she just so happened to leave that day that the daddy left home. And, you know, they ended up getting stuck in this town that she was having visions about already. That's where maybe we have to keep watching to get the answer to. So he's still explaining to her that, you know, she's going on and on and on about this town and these people, and, you know, how everyone is stuck. And, you know, he feels like it's, you know, she's saying gibberish. But now he's realizing that what she was saying was actually real. And then all of a sudden, the mama gets to this picture where it's like a boy. He's just outlined like a little stick, and, you know, with some little trees behind him. And then she's like, oh my gosh. And this is just a side note, but don't the boy that pushed her out of the tower kind of look like Ethan? Or maybe her son that passed. Maybe it's her son that passed. I'm not sure. But the boy kind of looks like Ethan to me. But that's just a side note. So then while all of this is happening and he's explaining to the mom all of this, they're having the funeral all at the same time, and, you know, doing their last, you know. So while he's explaining all of this to the mom, they're also cutting to the scene where they're having the funeral for Kenny's mom. So the funeral ends up being over, and then Boyd and his son is walking out, and he's telling him like, we can't keep doing this. Like, we gotta do something about this because it's not gonna work. So I'm like, okay, what you got in mind? And then y'all, all of a sudden, you know, then the daddy let Julie and Ethan go to you know, wherever they wanted to go. He goes into the house and he gives him a cup of water, and all of a sudden the phone is ringing. How is the radio playing? The lights are on. The phone is ringing. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So the phone started ringing, And then he looking like, what the? He goes and answers the phone. He answers the phone slowly but surely. Hello? Hi, Dad. It's Thomas. And I'm like, oh, shit. Because that's where the whole, okay, the boy that pushed the mom out the tower looks like Ethan, but could be the son that died before Ethan was born, because they do kind of favor, they are kind of similar in looks, but maybe I'm just reaching a little bit. Y'all, these first 2 episodes of From are kicking off with a bang. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye.